Hi, I'm Becky from Genie Frog Crochet, and today I'm going to do a little tutorial video of how to do a foundation chain and a single crochet. Now I'm going to make a series of videos to show you how to do the basic stitches in crochet. So we're going to cover a foundation chain, a single crochet, a half double crochet, a double crochet and a treble crochet. But sometimes when you're learning to do something, you sort of, particularly crochet, I think when people start out, they just think, oh, I'll make a little granny square. And you don't end up with a thing at the end of it. So I thought, what better way to learn the basics to make a thing, a blanket, a baby blanket. So I've designed this little blanket. I'm going to do all the tutorial videos, and there will be a pattern at some point that will be uploaded to Ravelry that you can follow along with if you like. Also, you can use this video just as a tutorial of how to do a chain and a single crochet if you like. But if you want to make this blanket with me, it's a lovely little baby blanket. It measures, my one is made in a DK yarn using a 4mm hook, and it measures 66 centimeters square roughly when it's finished, and that's about 26 inches. I've used Stylecraft Special DK. I will give you the colours that I've used in this one if you want to make one the same. So this video is just going to be part one, where we're going to make the foundation chain and the single crochets. And then in part two, we'll be moving on to half double crochets. Part three will be double crochets. Part four will be treble crochets. And then I'll do a last part where I'll show you how to finish it off by putting this lovely shell border around the outside. So let's get started. Let's make a blanket together and learn how to crochet. So first things first, you need some double knit yarn. I'm using Stylecraft Special DK in white, and I have my 4mm hook that I'm using. And what we're going to do to start off is we're going to make a slip knot to put onto our hook. So the way I make a slip knot, there's lots of people do it, and people tend to do it really quick and you can't really see how they did it. So I'll try and do this really slowly for you. So we're going to make a loop like this, and then we put the tail end through the loop, poke it through, so you've got a little hole or a loop, and pull that tight, and then you can pop your hook through the hole and then just tighten it up. Not too tight, because you want it to be able to move sort of freely up and down your hook, but you don't want it to just be shooting off when you're in the middle of doing something. So first and foremost, we're going to make the foundation chain. For the baby blanket, if you want to make it, the chain, we're going to chain 111. But obviously just for these videos to make it along with you, I'm going to make one slightly smaller. Otherwise we'll be sitting here for an age together. It would be nice to have company, but yeah, I'm going to do a smaller one. So I'm going to show you how to do a foundation chain. So all you do is you want to get your hook, grab your yarn and pull it through the loop that's on your hook. Like that. I hope I've done it slow enough for you to be able to see it. We'll do a few more. So you want to grab the yarn and slowly pull it through the loop. So that's 2 chains that I've done there. So we're going to do 20 together for me to show you what we're doing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you want to sort of move your fingers up as you're doing it, otherwise it gets away from you a bit. 6, 7, 8, And I find it quite helpful to sort of get a little bit of a rhythm, because then it kind of gives you a bit more uniform in how your chains are. But obviously when you're starting out, it's, you know, you're starting out something new, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with, if you think, oh, they're a bit messy, I'm not happy with those, just start again. That's what I love about crochet. You know, if you go wrong, you just frog it. I mean, that's really where the name of my business came from. You know, it's fine to frog something. You can still make wishes come true even if you frog. It's absolutely fine. It's one of the things I love. So let's start again. We're going to chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to go a bit faster now. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There we go. So you've got your lovely little chain. And what we're going to do now, in a lot of patterns, when you do a foundation chain, it will say, so in this pattern it says make a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So this loop here is your first chain. So you want to make a single crochet into this loop here, which is the second chain from your hook. Let me move my hands down a bit. So we're going to make a single crochet into that chain. So to make a single crochet, you want to insert your hook into the stitch, grab hold of your yarn and pull it through. And then you want to grab your yarn and pull it through both of the loops on your hook. And that is your first single crochet. So we're going to make single crochets all the way along. As I said, if you're making the blanket, you will have made 111 chains. And because you're doing a single crochet in the second chain from your hook, when you get to the end, you should have 110 single crochets. But I'm going to have 19 because I've chained 20 and you missed the first chain. So we're going to do another single crochet in the next chain, which is this one here. So you're going to insert your hook, grab your yarn and pull it through. And then you want to grab your yarn again and pull it through both loops. And again into the next chain. Grab your yarn, pull it through. You want to grab your yarn, pull it through both loops. So that's 3 single crochets. 3, 4, 5. Apologies if you can hear the rain. It's July in South Wales, so obviously it's raining. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And try and keep your chain flat if you can, so that you can see, because if it gets twisted, you're going to get yourself in a pickle and you'll end up going in the wrong side. And but then if you do that, what do? You just pull it out and start again. It's fine. So we go into the loop, pull through, grab your yarn, pull through 2, all the way along to the end of the chain. Let's go a bit faster. So the idea is with this blanket, by the time you finished it, you'll be so practiced at doing singles, halves, doubles and trebles, that there's nothing that you won't be able to tackle in crochet, because that's basically all crochet is. It's made up of these basic stitches. It's just about how you use them, what loops you go into, how you join them together. Hours and hours of fun. Come over to the crochet dark side. There we go. And then the last single crochet goes into the last chain, which is the one right by your beginning knot. And you're going to do your last single into that. So if you're making the blanket, that will be single crochet 110. And then what we're going to do is we're going to chain one, and we're going to turn our work around. So what we're going to be doing then is we're going to be working right down the other side. So the first section of this blanket is made up of 3 rows of single crochets. So we are going to go into the first single crochet, which is this one here. And we're just going to do exactly the same. Insert the hook, grab the yarn, grab your yarn and pull through 2. And you're going to do a single crochet into every stitch along. And make sure when you go through that you're going through both of the loops of the stitch, like this. Because if you go through just one, you're accidentally doing a back loop or a front loop single crochet, and you know, we'll get there. We don't want to run before we walk in. So through both of the loops of your last stitch, pull through and do your single crochet. And again, we're going to do that all the way along. And once you get used to the stitches you're going into, this is a very therapeutic stitch, the single crochet, because it's just simple in, wrap around, pull through. And don't worry if it's twisting and things like that, because it will flatten out as your blanket gets bigger. It will all be okay in the end, she says. But as I said, if it's not, crochet is not like life. You can't undo life and do it again, but you can with crochet. It's fab. We're going all the way to the end. So again, if you're making the blanket, you'll be doing 110 single crochets all the way to the end. The last one's a bit tricky, so I'm going to show you. And you've got to make sure your stitch count is right, because sometimes you can miss the last one otherwise. So 18. So this last one here will be the one that you did. It would have been your first one into your chain, so it's a bit tricky. So you want to make sure you're getting both of your loops, this one and this one. Go, oops, under those and make your last single crochet. And then you're going to do exactly the same again. You're going to chain one and then turn your work over and just do exactly the same, a single crochet into each stitch. Make sure you don't miss this first one accidentally. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and there we go. You're going to go all the way along. Let's just do these quickly, me waffling on. And this blanket, if you did decide to make it, it's a perfect one for using up your stash. If you've got a lot of scrap yarn that you just want to, you've just got enough just to do one row of something, it would be perfect for that. So there we go. Single crochets. Let me just check. I'm not sure. Me saying section 1. Yes, section 1 is just the singles and the chain. So there we go. 18, 19. And when you get to the end, your last stitch, you're going to cut your yarn, leave yourself a bit of a tail. I'll show you as well how to weave your tails in at the end when we do the border. And you're going to cut your yarn. And then what I do to fasten off is I grab the yarn as if I'm doing a chain, pull it through, pull it all the way through, and then pull it nice and tight. And there we go. You should have a lovely long, if you're making a blanket, chain with your... Yeah, sorry, I'm losing my mind. So we're chaining and we're doing... Yeah, I've fastened off too early. So you need to do another row of single crochets. But again, if you do what I just did and accidentally fasten off too early, you can just join your yarn by making a stand-in single crochet. If you're not sure how to do a stand-in stitch, I do have a tutorial on that on my channel, which you can go find. So I'm going to join. I've turned my work over from where I fastened off. Turn over, it just means I'm going to have an extra tail to weave in, so it's my own fault. And all I do is go into the first stitch and make a stand-in single crochet, and then singles all the way along to the end, and I will leave you there because I've already showed you how to fasten off because I did it prematurely. So yeah, that will be section 1 of the A Step at a Time baby blanket, and in the next tutorial I'm going to show you section 2 where we will be joining and doing half double crochet. So I hope you'll join me for that. Apologies for being a bit scatty, but you know, it is the weekend and the summer holidays have just started, so my brain's gone to mush. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again next time.